Our top story. Sources have told headlines today that Jagmohan Dalmiya is most certain to return as the BCCI president. According to sources, the Srinivasan camp has offered an unconditional support to Jagmohan Dalmiya because the Srinivasan camp fears that if the Pawar camp gets Dalmiya on its side, it might mean Srinivasan loses out the ICC post as well. Also, the Srini camp felt that if Sharad Pawar or his candidate comes to power, then no member from Srinivasan's camp will get any post in the BCCI. All said and done, it is a dramatic return for Dalmiya to the helm of affairs at BCCI. Nominations are to be filed by 3 p.m. this afternoon. Remember, it was headlines today that had first reported that the race for BCCI top post is heating up and it could either be Sharad Pawar, Rajiv Shukla, Anurag Thakur or Jagmohan Dalmiya as the new BCCI president. But it looks almost certain now that Jagmohan Dalmiya will return as BCCI chief. All right, Jagmohan Dalmiya is already and set to return at the helm of affairs at the BCCI. It appears now that he is getting the kind of support that is required to push him for the top job. However, there were other contenders like Sharad Pawar, Rajiv Shukla and Anurag Thakur, but it appears that he might ultimately emerge as the consensus candidate. In fact, the Srinivasan camp extending unconditional support is what has led to this probable elevation of Jagmohan Dalmiya. Consulting editor Boria Majumdar is now joining us with more details. Boria, any last-minute negotiations still being worked out, or is it pretty much certain now that we'll see Jagmohan Dalmiya as the BCCI chief now?
It's pretty much certain. As far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much certain. In the BCCI, you never say never. Having said that, anything can happen last minute, but Dalmiya is pretty much certain. Yes, last minute negotiations are still on Maha, but that's about the other posts. The post of secretary, treasurer, IPL chairman, joint secretary, India's representative in the ICC, all of these positions will now be debated and finalized over the next 3 hours. But as far as the president's position is concerned, the prime post, that more or less is certain with Jagmohan Dalmiya. Because at this point in time, there is no opposition. You will get to know finally by this afternoon. Nominations start soon, 10 a.m. We'll finish at 3. Between 3 and 4 is scrutiny. And finally at 6 p.m. you will get to know the list of candidates. But if I understand from my sources, it is almost certain that Jagmohan Dalmiya is the next BCCI president.
All right, Boria, also we'd like to understand how is it that somebody like Sharad Pawar, who is seen as a person who negotiates very well, is in the good books of most of these people, couldn't make it to that top spot even though he was very keen on it?
Sharad Pawar, if I understand it right, has the numbers, but Sharad Pawar does not have the necessary numbers in the East Zone. In the East Zone, it is all about 2 people proposing and seconding a particular candidate for the post of president. Now, there are 6 votes in the East Zone, and that is where Sharad Pawar does not have the numbers. But don't rule out an alliance between Sharad Pawar and Jagmohan Dalmiya. If that happens, as I said, Dalmiya is now the consensus candidate. But if there is an alliance, all the other positions will go to the Sharad Pawar lobby. Anurag Thakur will become secretary in such a scenario because he and the BJP votes, if I understand this morning, are with Sharad Pawar. And all the other positions in that portfolio, in that cabinet, will then go to the Sharad Pawar lobby. So it's a very, very interesting scenario at this point in time. The only position that is confirmed or near confirmed, almost confirmed, is that of the president, where I think Jagmohan Dalmiya will be unopposed. For all of the other positions, hectic lobbying still on.
Also, Boria, we are learning the inside story of the BCCI shake-up, and it appears that even Anurag Thakur is expected to join the meeting between Jagmohan Dalmiya and Shashank Manohar of the Pawar camp. Help us understand the significance of Anurag Thakur too joining that meeting.
Big significance. Anurag Thakur, BJP stalwart, BJP member, close to the BJP, close to Arun Jaitley, close to Amit Shah. He was perhaps the BJP's choice, maybe even for the post of president. But now, if Anurag Thakur, Sharad Pawar and Jagmohan Dalmiya join hands, it is almost a sweep. So we have to wait and see. And if that happens, Anurag Thakur will definitely get a key post. At this point in time, he's joint sec. He will perhaps get the post of secretary, which is the second most important portfolio in the BCCI. So we've got to wait and see, Maha, as I said. But from what I understand, new alliance is brewing. Who would have expected that Sharad Pawar and Jagmohan Dalmiya would join hands? These two were the bitter foes in 2005, 2006 when Dalmiya was ousted. But in politics, no one is a permanent enemy or a permanent friend. And now enemy's enemy, my friend, that's the way it's happening. The whole intention of the Pawar lobby and Mr. Pawar is to keep Srinivasan out and all of his proxies out. If that happens, they want Dalmiya by their side. And if Anurag is joining the meeting, it tells me that the BJP is also siding with this lobby. This is a hugely important development. We will wait and see. But as I said, at this point in time, the confirmation is, or near confirmation is, Jagmohan Dalmiya for the post of president.
Boria Majumdar, many thanks for getting us a perspective on those ongoing developments for the President's post of the BCCI.